Thank you. Thanks to all of you all for having come over here. The first day of the taking budget to the people. We have started this today, even as the budget was presented on Saturday in the Parliament, and the discussions have started from yesterday. Today is the first day of this one, and we have started it with the financial capital. We'll be going to Chennai for a program tomorrow, similar program tomorrow. And on Sunday, we shall be doing the same kind of an exercise in Kolkata. We intend doing in a few more cities, but that will be after the 11th, because between Monday and Tuesday, I will also have to be replying on the discussions on the budget. So in the meanwhile, because we had today and Saturday and Sunday in between, we've started this exercise. And I'm thankful that all the secretaries from the ministry, today we also had the expenditure secretary in the morning, and this team will be going over to the rest of the cities, meeting with industry leaders, meeting with trade associations, meeting with professionals as chartered accountants and tax practitioners, and that is in one session, and also separately meeting with the economists and any other groups which would want to meet with us. Post that, we also have slotted a press conference in each of these places. That is where we are today. We've had, as was mentioned, we've had a very extensive discussion in the morning. Clarifications were given, questions were asked for which we've replied. So it has been a very productive exercise, I'm sure, for the people who participated, certainly for us. So that's where we are. I wouldn't take more of the time here. I'll leave it open for anyone who wants to ask a question, and you may run it for me. Thank you.
The floor is now open for question and answers. We will begin from the last row there. Please go ahead. Yes, sir.
Will you see structural changes in GST pertaining to anti-off profiteering and arrest provisions? Because we're talking about the criminalization of income tax laws also.
Yes, that is very explicitly stated that we wish to decriminalize laws. We sort of started it off also with the Companies Act earlier. We've said now we're looking to Income Tax Act also in this regard. So yes, we will want to eventually make it so possible that for civil offences we don't treat it as criminal offence. To that extent, yes, there will continuously be steps taken for that purpose. I've said that.
Next question we can take from the first row, please.
My question specifically to the infrastructure sector. The budget you talked about, 100 lakh crores for the next 5 years, 2020, and also mentioned about 1.7 trillion for transport sector specifically for 1920. So my question is, what are the source of fund? How do you raise those funds? Considering the private sector is in another already, how do you want to play the role of a big brother?
I don't intend playing the role of a big brother, not at all. Government is a facilitator, and government will spend in public investment related programs. We have very clearly said we will spend on investment for infrastructure. Infrastructure creation has both immediate short-term and long-term benefits. In the budget itself, in the speech, I had mentioned that nearly 22,000 crores have already been allotted for the two infrastructure funding agencies that we are talking about. One was a subsidiary of the National Infrastructure Investment Fund, the other is the IIFCL. And if that money is given to them, they are going to be able to leverage from the market at least 6 to 7 times conservatively, or even 8 to 9 times if you're a bit more generous. So in a way, haven't we met with more than 1 lakh crore, and that 1 lakh crore was announced by the Prime Minister in the Independence Day speech from the Red Fort, that it will be spread over 5 years. But even as that was said, as the year went by, we went ahead to say we are happy to front load it as much as is required. Okay. Having said that, have we waited? We have actually worked with states, we have worked with private investors, private project promoters and so on, and come up with an infrastructure pipeline consisting of over 6,400 projects. So not only are we saying things, we are also showing the way in which we'll fund it. Not only are we saying about funding it, but we are also clearly saying where these funds will go. Various states, various sectors related projects and so on. So I think our commitment towards investment and spending from public spending in infrastructure is very clearly laid out.
पर क्या इंटेंट है आगे बढ़ाने का है या नहीं है, या अगर अभी के लिए नहीं है तो क्या होते हैं। दूसरा सवाल ये है कि डायरेक्ट टैक्स कोड को लेकर अगर कोई रिपोर्ट आ गई है और उसके बाद अभी तक इस पर सरकार क्या करना चाहती है। तीसरा सवाल ये है कि जो विवाद से विश्वास की स्कीम है उसमें जो टर्म इस्तेमाल किया गया है वो विड्रॉल इस्तेमाल किया गया है, डिस्पोज ऑफ नहीं लिखा जाएगा, तो ऐसा क्यों?
So please introduce yourself with your organization.
विवाद से विश्वास, LIC एंड इंश्योरेंस। आपका 3 प्रश्न है। डायरेक्ट टैक्सेशन कोड। I think on the direct tax code, commencing from the corporate tax simplification and rate reduction, and now very clearly coming up also with the income tax rate reduction, simplification, we have very clearly shown the government's intent. Intent of the government is to move towards a simplified taxation regime. And that is why we've also made it very plain that not only rate reduction but also removal of all kinds of exemptions. That was the approach taken in the corporate tax, and that's the approach taken even now. And then that the taxation regime should be on the ground, on the basis, on the foundation of trust with citizens. We have brought in the taxpayers' charter. The taxpayers' charter being brought into the statutes itself says how far we want to make the whole process simplified, no kind of pressure on the taxpayer, and eventually leading to a simplified and minimum possible level of taxation.